ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Good morning, this is Arlene and you are listening to our ASEAN Daily, the voice of discovery and sharing, where we bring you critical news from Southeast Asia. First off, a breaking news. Malaysian bomb maker believed killed in Basilan. A Malaysian shopkeeper turned bomb maker associated with Islamic State is suspected to be among 13 Abu Sayyaf gunmen killed in a clash with the Philippines military in Basilan Island. On another news, in Indonesia, Indonesia's House Speaker submit resignation amid scandal. Indonesia's Parliament Speaker resigned on Wednesday amid a major scandal in which he is accused of trying to extort shares worth $1.8 billion from an international mining company to ensure its contract extension. Speaker Setia Novanto has denied the allegations, including he used President Joko Widodo's name in his dealings with executives from the local unit of Freeport-McMoRan, Inc., one of the world's biggest copper and gold mining companies. The case has focused public scrutiny on Indonesia's parliament, which the anti-corruption group Transparency International calls one of the most corrupt institutions in a corrupt country, and could erode investor confidence in Southeast Asia's largest economy. According to Novanto, he said that to preserve the dignity and honor of Indonesia's House of Representatives and to create public order, I hereby declare my resignation as chairman of the House of Representatives from the period of 2014 to 2019. He planned to remain a deputy, according to what is written in the letter to a parliamentary committee. Another political news also we want to highlight in Laos. Alarming development for HMONG community in Laos. HMONG community is currently facing a new threat, the Laotian and Vietnamese armies. Sources on the ground reported on 13 December 2015 that the ongoing military siege aimed at wiping out the HMONG in the region has left the surrounded community without access to food or water. Acts of aggression have included a wave of arbitrary arrests and detention of villagers, forcing many to flee into the nearby forests. The HMONG people are an indigenous group situated in northern Laos. They distinguish themselves from the Laotian population because of their ethnicity, written and spoken language, culture, and religion. The HMONG territory borders Vietnam in the east, China in the north, Burma in the northwest, and Thailand in the west. Due to their collaboration with the U.S. forces during the Vietnam War in countering the invasion of northern Laos by Vietnamese troops, the HMONG continue to be stereotyped as the dangerous anti-government group. On a regional scale, ASEAN ministers meet in Cambodia on disaster management. The third ASEAN ministerial meeting on disaster management kicked off here on Wednesday amid to further strengthen the bloc's cooperation in disaster control. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen said disaster management has become a topic for the world, specifically for the ASEAN region that is vulnerable to natural disasters such as flood, drought, storm, and so forth. In the context of the rising disaster risk, our essential measures for disaster management must be focused on preparedness and prevention, which necessitate close cooperation among neighboring countries in the region. The Prime Minister added that as ASEAN is transforming itself into a stable, peaceful, harmonized, and prosperous community, the bloc must spearhead disaster management through promoting mainstreaming and investing in disaster risk reduction for the safety and resilience of the community, in line with One ASEAN, one response. We'll take a short break. When we return, we'll discuss on the economic and business side of Southeast Asia.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Welcome back. This is Arlene and you are listening to Duran ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. And of course, we are moving on to our economy and business side of Southeast Asia. We move on to Myanmar because Myanmar is granting new foreign banking licenses in 2016. Myanmar will open a second round of foreign bank licensing early next year, its central bank said, in the hopes of attracting further foreign investment. Banks from countries that have already been granted licenses, Australia, Japan, Malaysia, China, Singapore, and Thailand, will not be eligible for new licenses. New licenses will instead be given to additional neighboring and important trading partner economies. This is according to Myanmar's central bank. The move to raise the number of foreign players in Myanmar's nascent bank sector follows the successful granting of 9 licenses last year, although restriction remains on what services that foreign banks can offer to the nation of 51 million. Banking services are still limited, and the domestic industry is dominated by financial institutions with ties to the former military regime. Moving on, another news about banking. Maybank Indonesia boosts competitiveness ahead of AEC implementation. Indonesia has prepared itself to face competition in the ASEAN Economic Community slated to be enforced by the end of the year. According to Maybank Indonesia President Director Taswin Zakaria, as an ASEAN regional bank, Maybank has seamlessly integrated its policies across different countries to make it easier to facilitate international trade flows, particularly in the Southeast Asian region. Maybank can facilitate business potential from ASEAN countries to Indonesia and vice versa. We have a uniform transaction banking system to facilitate cash transactions for individual, institutional, or retail clients, he explained. He added that by offering a convenient and integrated way to complete international transactions, the bank helped to maximize business opportunity from ASEAN trading activities. We will go back to you in a bit while we will listen to a couple of music. Next stop will be on the arts and culture side of Southeast Asia.
ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Welcome back. This is Arlene. So on the arts and culture side, we want to put a focus on Vietnam. Vietnam is optimistic of 1 million Malaysian tourists before coming to the country, of course, before 2020. Deputy Director General of Cooperation Department Tra Pung Chuang said last year the total number of Malaysian tourists was 300,000, while in the 11 months of this year there was a 5% increase. Now what they are seeing right now is to put further information and sharing with tourist operators here, he told reporters after speaking at the Vietnam Tourist Roadshow here. And the objective of the roadshow is to provide an update of new products and policy of Vietnam to raise awareness among Malaysian tourist operators to lure more Malaysians to this country. Meanwhile, Malaysian Association of Tours and Travel Agents Secretary General Nigel Wong said Vietnam could be a preferred destination for Malaysian tourists as there was a frequency of flights headed there. definitely Vietnam is my personal choice of tourism in Southeast Asia. I've been there once, and of course, the main thing that is exciting about the Vietnam is the food and the coffee and the culture. And furthermore, one thing that Vietnam is unique to offer to the people is the people, to the tourists. Of course, it's the people itself. Vietnamese people are very friendly, very open and warm. You can have any good food on its roadside stalls, and of course my favorite is po noodles. On another hand, of course, we won't end our show without talking about Star Wars. As we all know, today is the world premiere of the Star Wars, and Star Wars have rediscovered its force. This is according to critics. As film opens, expectations have been high as the latest episode of the space saga opened in France, South Africa, and several other countries. After months of teasing trailers that raise more questions than answers, and a Hollywood premiere Monday from which the celebrity audience emerged smiling but sworn to secrecy. Some of the franchise millions of fans finally got to see it for themselves. The Force Awakens oozes the style and composition of the first trilogy and will not look awkward stood next to your well-worn Return of the Jedi DVD. Of course, my favorite among all the series of the Star Wars is The Return of the Jedi. Expectations have been high as the latest episode of the space saga opened in all the countries mentioned earlier. And in Malaysia, today is the opening of the Star Wars, and I'm sure a lot of Malaysian fans out there can't wait to have a seat and watch the Star Wars. Me definitely is. I'll be watching it tomorrow, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. The Star Wars Forces Awakening. That's all from us today, and don't make sure to always tune in to our radio show, especially on our ASEAN Daily, where we bring you the freshest news on our politics, economy, and social-cultural side. And don't forget to listen to us on the go if you are not in front of your desktop by downloading the Durian ASEAN mobile app. And keep in touch with us via social media, via our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's all from today. Thank you.